These bands, these ones right here, dude, my mate, they deserved better.
Much better.
This one's hard for me to talk about. This is a tough one. What is going on, my mates? Hope everyone is having an outstanding Monday so far. Hope you're just living life to your fullest and having a really good day and watching this video and just having a good time. Before we get into everything, I just want to thank y'all so much for the immense support that I've been seeing lately. The channel's just growing really fast, getting lots of subscribers, lots of mates interacting, and it just makes me so happy because this is just so fun. But today we're going to be talking about bands that deserved better. And I think I should start out by defining terms, and the way that I'm going to define a band that deserved better is a band that broke up due to lack of support. And basically what that translates into is they pretty much just didn't really have enough money to justify doing a band full time. Like, I remember this one band, Balance and Composure, that I'm going to talk about here in a sec. They said that's basically like why they broke up. They're like, yeah, it just kind of sucked being poor literally all the time. And I totally respect that and understand, but selfishly I'm like, dude, just keep being a band, you know? But anyway, with that being said, let's just jump right into the video and get into the nitty gritty. I got 5 bands for us that we're going to talk about. Hopefully some of you don't know some of these bands. You can listen to them and have their legacy just keep living on and living on. Here we go. The very first band on this list is a band called Marietta, and they're from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They are cut from the same cloth as modern baseball, as in they were kind of just made in the same little scene, I guess you could say. The Philly scene is pretty good from what I understand. And if that name sounds familiar to you at all, Marietta, it's because modern baseball actually did a really good split with them in, I want to say 2012, and it was just incredible. I really like the modern baseball songs. I like the Marietta songs. That actually introduced me to Marietta, and they're just an incredible band. I would say they're an emo band at their core. They could almost kind of fit into the category that some people refer to as scrams. I know it sounds weird, but bands like Snowing and Algernon Cadwallader, and who else? Bands like Park Jefferson, just bands like that. I'd also say they have some indie rock tendencies, but overall Marietta was just an absolutely incredible band. You should go check out their album Summer Death that came out in 2013 if you've never listened to it. If you have listened to it, you know it's a really good fun album. And if you're really feeling their music after that, go ahead and dive into some of their older work, and then they do have a newer album after that. So Marietta, check them out. They freaking rock. Now this next band is a band that you may have seen before at a live show if you listen to this general type of music, because they're one of those bands that was always just the supporting band on the bill of a show. I don't think I ever actually got to catch them in a live setting, but they are a very incredible band, and they are called Pentimento. And I don't even know what that means. I'm not sure if it's a real word. I'll probably look it up after this video and put it in. But anyway, Pentimento is an incredible band. I would say they're mostly alternative rock, but they kind of border on pop punk and kind of weave that in, maybe even weave in a little bit of emo just based on their lyrics and just their overall feeling that they give me. They never got the support that they needed. They even signed to Bad Timing Records, and if you've been listening to this music for just way too long, you remember Property of Zach. It was essentially a music blog that promoted a lot of the types of music that I talk about on this channel. It doesn't exist anymore. Zach Zarilla still does a bunch of projects, but they signed to that record label, put out a record. I was really excited for them. I thought they're just gonna keep going up because pop punk was just like ridiculously like at this time, but nothing really came of it. They did release an album called I No Longer. I really enjoyed it, but I think to date my favorite thing that they've ever put out is an EP called Inside the Sea that came out late 2013. It is 4 tracks, I believe. You should go check it out. Check out their track Just Friends. It'll tear you up. It's super fun. It's super sad. This band just never really got what they needed. I really felt like they had the potential to be really big. I feel like they had commercial appeal. I feel like the average listener could just hear it in their ears and be like, oh yeah, this is just some cool rock and roll music, you know, like whatever. They just never got what they needed. I hope Pentimento's spirit lives on forever. I'm gonna have to do a giveaway for some of their vinyl because I do have it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but make sure to go check out Pentimento if you never have, or if you've heard of them, you already know how good they are. Pentimento forever, my mate. This one's hard for me to talk about. This is a tough one. This is a band that I never wanted to see end, even though I wasn't a fan of their record that they put out most recently a couple years ago. Balance and Composure deserved better. They deserved so much better. I really think that they should be up there at the status that Turnover currently is. I think they were that good. I think they had that much potential. They had appeal. All of their songs were so relatable. They were fun. They were emotional. The lyrical content was on point. Balance and Composure deserve better. They have written a record that is still in my top 25 of all time, called The Things We Think We're Missing. It is my very favorite album from them, although I would say that their album that came out before that in 2011, titled Separation, is objectively better. However, I am just more partial to The Things We Think We're Missing. It is just so good. And for me, what makes music timeless from my perspective and just the way that I perceive that word to be is it gives me the same feeling that it did the very, very first time that I listened to it. And I feel that way about a handful of records. For example, another record that I feel very strongly about is Tiger's Jaw's self-titled album. That is very hard to say, but I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. I really thought Balance and Composure was doing pretty well as far as finances and support. It seemed like a lot of people bought their merch, went to shows, but there was a little point in time where they were pretty quiet, and I was getting a little bit worried. Then the day came, they said they're no longer gonna be a band. I was really pretty sad about it, but hey, I respect that decision, even though it makes me really sad. I know that they gotta live their own lives and be financially stable and maybe move on to other projects. I know John is doing some type of rap stuff or something with Wicked Phase Springs Eternal, I believe, but I just really miss them and hope they come back at some point, or at least play some shows just for a reunion and so we can all have a good time, because I'm a fake fan and have never seen them live. Been listening to them since 2011 and I never saw them. I had like 14,000 opportunities, but I messed up and I'm paying for it now. I guess I was just like waiting till they could break up so I could be like, oh man, I didn't get to see him. But overall, Balance and Composure, incredible band. I'm sure a lot of you that watch this, you've heard of them, but if you haven't, go check them out. Balance and Composure, forever and ever. You know another band that deserved better? They deserved much better. Fronted by Taylor Madison, also from Pennsylvania, I believe. I could be wrong, but this band called Daylight, you may not know as Daylight because they had to change their name due to some legal issues, because another band that no one's heard of from like across the world is like, yeah, that's our name. So they had to change their name to Super Heaven, which is a cool name, but I just love them so much. I remember when their album called Jar came out on Run for Cover Records, and I was just like, dude, this is just like 1990s grunge worship music, and it's just everything you could love and want in an album like that. They have this music video for their song called Jar, and it just gives you those vibes, almost like some Alice in Chains vibes. I think that's kind of what they're going for. I think they're kind of actually probably really inspired by that band. They also have an album called Ours is Chrome, which is also very good. I think Jar is my favorite out of the albums that they have made. They also put out two EPs before that, and they were also good as well. The EPs are a little bit on the harder side, I guess you could say, more like on the hardcore side, but nonetheless very good. I thought that they were doing pretty well too, but I guess you just don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I know musicians are notorious for not making the amount of money that they deserve because record labels take it, blah blah, and you know, it's like I know that they signed away their names and the label can do what they want, but it still just bums me out that a lot of musicians aren't paid properly or compensated properly, because it's like, dude, some of these people really impact people's lives, and it just sucks that someone that wants to do this full time isn't able to for a reason as silly as money. I understand that money's important and that we need it, but like I said, it just bums me out. Daylight, Super Heaven, whatever you want to call them, they deserved better. You can still pick up the records from Run for Cover Records. I'm not really sure what they're doing. I don't even know if they officially broke up, so go check them out if you've never listened to them. Super Light, Super Heaven, go check them out. This last band is also a band that I hold very near and dear to my heart. Their music has been in my life for such a long time now, going on 7 or 8 years. I've been listening to them for so long. They broke up fairly recently, I think over a year ago at this point, but the band in question, can you guess it? Can you guess it? Wait, Transit. So they're a pop punk / emo / indie rock band, and they are one band that I can say confidently that they really do mix all of those together, although their record that they put out before they broke up called Joyride was a little bit on the poppier side. I'd say overall the best labels for them as far as their sound would be pop punk, indie, and emo. Objectively, their best album is called Listen and Forgive, which came out in 2012, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'll just correct it. But that album is so freaking good. They have this song called Long Lost Friends. It's just so fun. The music video is just great. I just love everything about it. I love everything about the album. It's almost kind of like a throwback album in some ways. I know they're definitely inspired by some early 2000s emo slash hardcore slash punk action that definitely bled through, at least on Listen and Forgive. And it's just such a good album. If you like emo in any sort of way, just honestly check out this album. I don't think you'll be disappointed whatsoever. If you're feeling this, then dive into the rest of their catalog. But if you just want to start listening to this band for the first time, definitely check out Listen and Forgive. Rest in peace to Transit. Y'all deserved better. Y'all put in a lot of time, hard work, and I just wish you were still doing what you loved. If you broke up for any other reason than that, still love you, but I hope you're doing well. I know you're probably not watching this if you're in Transit. Go check out Transit if you never have. They're incredible. I know most of y'all have probably heard of them, but they truly did deserve better. Transit will live on in our hearts forever for years to come. I love y'all. If you made it to the end of the video, my mate, I just want to say thank you so much once again for your immense support of this channel. It's actually growing, it's going somewhere, and I'm so excited for it. If you enjoyed this series, make sure to hit subscribe. It's free, and maybe even comment a band that you think deserved better, and maybe we could turn this into a series or something, because this is actually very fun, because there are a lot of bands that deserved better that I know I didn't even talk about in this video. So if you have any, just drop them below. Maybe even like the video if you want, and I also have my social media down here if you care to follow. But my mates, appreciate you, love you, see you in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe.